while they're joining. This is for the Node.js Philly meetup group. We meet periodically. We're aiming for about one meeting every quarter. I work at Apostrophe along with the rest of my team here. We host and sponsor all events for the Node.js Philly meetup group. And we are headquartered here in Philadelphia. So a lot of the future meetups will be held out of our office or somewhere nearby. And like I said, we have a lot more planned for the future. So please spread any invites and any news about the group around your network. And if you are a speaker or know of any speakers, we're of course open to any presentations that you think might be helpful to our community of Node developers. So without delaying any further, I'll get into today's presentation. We're joined today by Matteo Collina. Matteo, thanks a lot for joining us today. Matteo's sort of a pioneer in the Node community and agreed to talk to us a bit more about his project Platformatic and maybe go into a bit of his background and sort of what led to creating the company and the technology as well. So Matteo, I'll pass things over to you to finish introducing yourself, fill in anything I might have left out. And I'll let you take it away. Work for you? I think we still have you on mute. Or I might have to unmute you.
Okay, hello everyone. Hello, sorry. Here we go.
We can hear you now, perfect.
Yeah, okay, so now you should be seeing my slideshow. Yes, okay, here we go. And yep, hide the Google Meet thingy. Great. So everyone, welcome to not just Philadelphia, I would say. And I have a few more people are joining. So hopefully all of you are joining soon or not soon, whatever, hopefully so. Anyway, I'm going to talk a little bit about Fastify, Platformatic, and a bunch of similar things. So stay tuned. So first of all, who I am, why should listen to me? You probably shouldn't, but I am co-founder and CTO of Platformatic. I also am a board member of the OpenJS Foundation, which is the home of Node.js, Electron, ESLint, Webpack. I don't know, you know these tools, probably yes. And more importantly than everything else, jQuery. So, I have some responsibility in keeping jQuery CDN up and running, which means at least I provide the budget. So anyway, there is that. I'm also vice chair of the technical steering committee of Node.js. Did a lot of work as a consultant on Node, so I helped quite a lot of companies in building and shipping Node.js apps, as well as hello, and hi Bill, and quite a lot of things from. I built a few libraries, including Fastify and Pino. And I have a newsletter, nodeland.dev, which you should be subscribing immediately. So go to nodeland.dev and click subscribe button so you can know when I'm posting something. Also, I have a Twitch, I have a YouTube, I have a bunch of other stuff. So, you might be getting that if you want to. Cool. So my generic take is you're using my software even if you don't know. My software I wrote or maintain has been downloaded 22 billion times in 2023, which is a staggering number. So again, there is my GitHub sponsor. You can go to GitHub sponsor and donate me. I'm joking, okay, but this is what it is. You're using my software if you don't want to. It's part of most of the tools and services that you enjoy and use every day as well. So anyway, up to should believe me, tell me what I'm doing. I don't know. Maybe you're using it anyway. So let me start with talking a little bit about Fastify. What is Fastify? Fastify is a framework for Node to build API and old school web apps. Okay. You can define your HTTP routes and declare run a route, declare a server, and it will actually run. Fastify is downloaded 5 million times per month. Well, this is old. It's probably 7 now. So, I am going to change the slide. Yep. It became, in the meanwhile, since the last time I did this, it became 7. Okay, good. It has, it's not even 18, 17, it's 18 collaborators. You see? I am updating the slides. And we have, it's at version 4. Version 5 is due in July, I think. It has an ecosystem of a lot of plugins, so you can do a lot of things with it. What is Fastify? Fastify is something that's built to be well with to run well on Node.js. Specifically, it doesn't want to add any overhead compared to the host runtime. Then want to have both a good developer experience, works well for small and big projects, and run almost, migrate from microservice to a monolith to serverless and back. A lot of focus on security. We'll talk a little bit about that, and plugin system, testability, and so on and so forth. So what is important, though, is Fastify is a community. It's both open source and open governance. And the most important part is that open source is as good as its community. And in fact, Fastify was born before any code was committed. How? Why? Well, I really wanted to build a new web framework for Node.js, and because Express had a lot of problems back in those days, and it still has all of them. And I have a good slide deck presentation that I did years and years ago, and it's still true today about the problem of Express. So I'm not going to go too much into that, but the way when it was born was when I was doing a Node.js training course in Bologna, and I ended up one of the attendees asked me, "Oh, how can I get started with open source?" And he says, "Well, I'm thinking of building a web framework for Node, new thing, a replacement for Express, a mixture between Express and Happy and Koa, and all the things at the same time." And he said, "I'm on board." And then that we started, okay? And that's how Fastify was born. So, however, maintaining a web framework for Node is a lot of work, and it's really hard to justify without funding or a company behind it. So, what we have decided to do is, in Fastify, is to spread the effort across the company using it. What does it mean? It means that if you have a bug using Fastify, it's your bug, is not my bug or our bug. So very often than not, the typical answer is for bug report is, "Please, would you like to send a PR to fix this? Please remember to add unit test." And this is very typical of a lot of projects with open governance. But essentially, if you have a bug, it's your bug. It also has a system of open governance, which essentially, if you contribute enough to Fastify, you can join as a maintainer as well. And yay, things are going pretty well. It's been growing so far in 2023, and it's keep growing in 2024 as well. Fastify is the fastest of them all, and it is. It's also a big community, okay, as I said, of maintainers, and it has 56 core plugins and 225 community plugins, which more or less is almost 270 something plugins. It's great. Okay, and you can find anything from the authentication system to database integrations and so on and so forth, all of them. Okay, and it's great, and it has all this massive ecosystem of things that you can compose and use and so on and so forth. And let's say Fastify is a library. Okay, it's a library. Okay, it's a framework, but it's you just require it or import, and that's done. So, but the question then is, how can you assemble all those plugins and the rest of good things that you can have in Node to build something amazing. Okay, and that's the question, right? And it's a question that when you start when a Node project, you almost always have that question. So how do you do it? Well, let's take a look. So typically, when you start building a new app, you typically end up spending a lot of time in the infrastructure. So you spend a lot of time creating all the boilerplate of your new app, a lot of time setting up a local development environment. Let's not talk about monitoring, because this is a big topic. Then we have database integration, log, authentication, and authorization, and so on and so forth. API clients. Okay, I don't know how many times you have coded a small SDK for an API that you're using, and so on. This is essentially what Platformatic does. And let me describe a little bit. So let's say that you're moving from you start at A, and you're moving to your destination, and Platformatic helps you move very, very fast to an intermediate location, to essentially getting through um, uh, quite a lot of the initial 80% of your build, essentially very, very quickly. And then but it still give you all the flexibility that you need to reach your final destination. Well, in some extent, is like you can go at some very, very fast high speed train on the first leg, and then you can just rent a car for the last part. It's great. And we have nice docs, so if you want, you can we have a QR code that you can look at, you can take if you want, or just click the link, but the QR code also works. Cool. And yeah, that's long slides. So what Platformatic does is we have a few of those services. One of them is called a few components. One of them is called Platformatic Service. What it does, it's built on top of the amazingness of Fastify, and it builds a few it builds on Fastify, and it has a lot of plugins. So it has, for example, it had automatically OpenAPI integration, so you can automatically see what have your OpenAPI definition for your routes. It also has a tool chain to compile your TypeScript, and which is great. And then it does. You can also use it with GraphQL, but also it has also a system to create to integrate clients for your apps, and it supports tracing out of the box, as well as a few nice utility like event loop and memory protection. It's great. So on top of Platformatic Service, we have built something called Platformatic DB, which is a phenomenal tool to very quickly create routes on top of your REST database. You will see I have a few demos about this. It's great, works well. Works on top of MySQL, MariaDB, Postgres, and SQLite. And you can use it as a very, very quickly way for a very, very quick scaffolding of your apps. These offer APIs both on REST and GraphQL. The Composer is one of our secret sauce, and Platformatic. It's another Composer, another Platformatic service that allows you to compose multiple OpenAPI system or OpenAPI or GraphQL systems together. It works fantastic. Okay, this is literally fantastic. And it's absolutely something that I would recommend using, because it just you just point a multiple OpenAPI definition, and everything just gets exposed, and it all works locally. So, and yeah, let's talk about the client, okay? Because we have found that when we're building our products and so on, that we spent quite a lot of time developing clients for your app, for our APIs. Which I don't know why. Like, it seems a very, very simple thing to do, but it's actually hard. So we ended up creating our client system, and it works very well. I will demo it later. It allows you to, given an open API spec, you can get a very easily get a client done for the browser or for the server. Why browser one client, while the server's the other? Well, because they have different needs. Because they have different needs. Well, here we are. Okay. So then we have the platformatic runtime. Platformatic runtime allows us to run multiple of those services within the same Node.js process. Works very well, and and we are planning great things for this. And the next iteration will be fantastic. It all of those runs inside your Node process, and they can communicate with each other, and they can just work. Okay, and you don't need to worry about, like, you can think your application in terms of microservices, and then decide to use microservice when you want to, when you need microservices, not from the beginning. Okay, and it's a great way to develop a modular monolith, if you want to talk about that. Ooh, seems the same slide. Yeah, yeah. Whatever. Let's talk a little bit about that later. Okay, so on top of all of that, we also have a local developer experience tool that I will demo in a second, which is a tool to create APIs, okay? And create, monitor, run, and so on locally. It's an Electron app, and you will see it later, immediately. And as part of this, we also have the concept of stackables. Stackables are mini apps that you can just download and use. They are ready to go. And you can see that we have a little bit of a marketplace when you can find them, okay? So if we go there, marketplace.platformatic.dev, you can see that we have a catalog, and we have a few. So we have service, composer, DB, but then we have all these others. So we have PG hooks, which is webhooks made easy using Postgres as the baking store. RabbitMQ, same thing, but with Rabbit. And we have something called AI Warp. What is it? AI Warp? Whoa. Seems interesting. What is AI Warp? Uh-huh. Maybe we can demo it later. Here we go. Okay, maybe we can demo it later. Uh-huh. Okay. Cool. And we can also list all the Fastify plugins that are also available on the system. Okay. And so let's keep going. Oh, I have a video. Well, which is an intro to AI Warp. I'm not going to plague you with a video. This AI Warp thing, what it does, it's a little a tool for doing AI things, okay, and integrating AI systems, which it's very nice because it can also run on local models, as well as OpenAPI, as an OpenAI, Mistral, Azure, you name that. Okay, so and how does it look? Well, when you start it, it has a very simple system with your fancy prompt, and you can just ask it something, and it will easily reply. Now we'll see how it works in a second. Okay, let's the demo gods be with me. I have not tried this demo before. So let's see. Did it start? Sorry, folks. It's starting in a sec. Did I click? Here we go. I should have started this before. Yeah, here we go. Okay. So here is our Meraki system, Meraki app. Let's put this full screen so you can see it. Okay. Let's create a new app. So let's call it Node Philly. And I'm going to put Node Philly in TMP. Now here you can see that we can have, here we're calling this AI. Okay. And we can pick our template, which will be an AI warp app. Now it's downloading and installing everything. npm takes forever as usual, so it's going to take a little bit of time. When you're mounting the video, you might skip this part if you want, because watching a spinner spinning with npm doing stuff is not fun. And it's taking forever. Okay. In the meanwhile, we are very good with Swag as Platformatic. So. Nice bottles, nice shirts. I really want, if you get me to speak at Node Philly, you can get in person. I'm going to have my designer do a Philadelphia version of this. Okay, 73 seconds for an npm install. This is a record. Okay. Okay, so we have installed AI, and then we can pick our model. Okay. And the model that we are going to do is a model based on LLM 2. Okay. And I am going to go, okay, real path. Yeah, I'm going to use a nice model, Mistral based. So here we go. Okay, and if you're using OpenAI, I will put here my API key. Okay, we have this generating with JS, and yeah, don't need this info level. Yay, generate app. So this is generating my app. And again, probably waiting for another few seconds because I was good. I just released a new version of Platformatic, so I blowed up all the caches of the word, and it's ooh, yeah. I need to update a few dependencies probably. Hi, Valentine. Bye bye. So here we go. Yeah. And go to apps. Okay. So now here we have Node Filling. We can start this up. Okay. So we can open this, and you can see this is running. Okay. We can actually open the thing. Ooh, wait, it opened it on the wrong tab. Okay. Now you can see that we have AI warp. We can ask, this is all running locally, by the way, with that local model. We could ask it to generate the commerce for an online store for Postgres, for example. And it's computing. If everything were fine, because yay, here we go. It's all of this is running locally, by the way, like it's not running anywhere. And if you want to switch to our online model, it just works with an online model too. It's yeah. So pretty cool, right? We got this thing going. Okay. We can ask some new other things. So we can ask to decode a base 64 string, for example. and it just works. Or generate a Fastify plugin. Probably not what I would have written, but it is. Okay. So this is our little oracle that we have created. Okay. And in here, now, interesting stuff. Let's look at the metrics. Okay. As you can see, while it was running, okay, when we started running our model, the memory were blown up to 700 plus megabytes, because I think my idea that that model is actually this big. Okay. And when we did this spike and we loaded the model, you can see that this grow massively. Look at it. Look at how big this was. Okay, CPU and event loop utilization went kaboom. Okay. And now, whenever we did one of the query, you can see that we got an entry point latency that was that grew. Okay. Taking a screenshot. There's a bug. You're not seeing the numbers on the left. Cool. We also have access to the logs for a request. And here we can choose the service. Okay, we'll talk a little bit about that in a second. Okay, and yeah, this is a config. Okay, now we have this system running, as you have seen. Let's stop this and edit it so we can add more services. This is our AI warp. What we're going to add is a composer, and we call it composer. Then I'm going to add a DB. Okay, and a service. And now we can just run them, and it will add those things. Okay. And we can configure it. We're going to use SQLite for our database. And yeah, stays the same. And we want the entry point to be the composer. And we are generating our stuff. And go to apps. Okay, now we have all our things. Okay, let's take a look at what was generated. Okay, let's go and take a look. Node fillet. Okay, we have a platformatic.json that tells us that we have a bunch of services and so on and so forth. In the services, we have our three things. Okay, in the composer, which is what imports us, it says our services block that we are not talking about here. So what we want, really, we want to expose all three. So we want to expose AI. Okay, and as AI. Let's copy this up. And we have bears as bears and knife. Okay. Okay, so now I can go. I need to remove a comma. Okay, I can go in here and press my start button. And it's starting and doing a bunch of stuff. Okay, this started. And now you can see, for example, in the metrics, this is all connected. In the logs, we can see that we have a bunch of service. Ooh, it's complaining a little bit. Need to see why it's complaining. Okay, let's take a look. So if I go in overview, it's complaining. Okay. Ooh. Yes, of course. Okay. So it didn't pick the entry point. Okay. That is a bug. Here, entry point, we need to put composer. Let's stop this. Okay, let's see in the logs. Let's take a look. Okay, in the composer, bears, knife, AI. Ooh, of course, this needs to go. This needs to go. This needs to go. And there is a .env, as you can see here. And yeah, okay. Now it should be online. Okay, now it's available. Cool. So if we go to 3042, okay, now it's not working anymore because we have exposing with the composer. Okay, and as you can see, we can open up the documentation of graphical. And as you can see, we have a few prompts for the prompt and the stream. Okay, consider that with prompt, we can always send them a request and ask them, this for the chat history, which is not required. We can ask how does the first reporter movie starts? And we can ask this, and we can get an answer slowly. Here you go. And then you can see the response here. This is the service that we created. Okay. You see, it's a long some test. Okay. And we just got it. Note that Platformatic AI Warp gives you a rate limit. And by default, you have 1,000 requests every 60 seconds. But look, this might be too easy for an AI system. So maybe I should lower that down by default. So anyway, so we have created this, and it's passing through my composer. We have these other endpoints. Note that we also have a few endpoints for manipulating movies, like the knife microservice as a movies endpoint, and we can, for example, create a movie. If we want to create a movie, we can create a movie, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Okay, and we can create our movie. And now we can get our movie. Here we go. Okay, cool. So what we want to do now is we want to integrate this database of movies, okay, which we can do that, and create an endpoint that, given a movie, okay, it gives us the use the endpoint for the prompt to give us the starting point of that. What did they ask here? The how does a movie begin? Okay, so let's do that. Okay, we are here, and we have a knife, and we have bears. The bears is just a basic microservice, okay, which we have an example route. that does fastify.example, and here you can see it. In here we have knife example, okay, that we can call, and we call says foobar, and if we can go and modify this and says hello node filling, and I there and I run it again, it didn't pick it up. Oh, it's a bears one. Sorry, I went into bears, not yeah, of course. I went into the wrong service. Yeah, that's I this is wanted to want to modify. So yeah, so it's knife. Okay, I need to go to bears. And yeah, node filling. Okay, this one was true. Okay. So if I change node filling true, and you can see that the library load is all working fine. Okay. So, and this is my basic endpoint. Now, what we want to do, we want to go in this folder, services, bears, and create a client. So npx plt client bears dash dash runtime bears dash dash name movies. Okay, we create a client for runtime. So the service called bears, and we put it in a folder called movies. Okay, we have created it all. Now, if we refresh bears, you see that we have a movies folder. So what we can do here is we can add movies, movies.d.ts. Okay, so now we can do fastify.get beginning ID, which is the ID of the movie. And yay. Okay. Now, what we can do is const movie, and we can do await request dot movies. You see that we have this get movie. Get. It's called get. Let's take a look. And did I generate the right one? Yeah, I generate. Well, sorry, made a mistake here. Yes, I need to generate for knife. Made silly mistake. And yep, of course. Now it's complaining. Sorry about this. Here we go. Okay, now here I need movies.get. This should be correct. And now here, okay, these are all the things. Okay, so get movie by ID. Now in my route, okay, now you can see that I have get movie by ID, and I can get request parameters ID. Great. Okay, and this is movie. And yeah, okay. Now what we want to talk to the AI. So we do the same with the client for the AI. And we call AI. Okay, and now we need to also reference that so that we can actually use it, and I have auto completion. So const beginning await request AI get it didn't pick it up. Okay, so AI, we can see we have prompt and stream. Okay, so here we go. AI did it. Yes. Get. Oh, it's not get, it's prompt. Yep, it's called prompt. Okay, and we need to specify the prompt. Okay, write the beginning of the of movie title. Okay, and let's return the beginning. Okay, Let's see what it is. Okay, let's see. We are running this now. We can refresh it. And now you can see that we have bears beginning appeared on our things. Let's see if this worked out of the box. So variables, 1, send. Ooh, missing the required parameter ID. I put in ID. Oh, yeah, KD value 1. Let's check the logs. So let's go here. We can see, we can go to bears. And missing required parameter. Oh, yeah, of course. Because I made a mistake in get movie by ID. I need to do this. This is where TypeScript would have helped, I am afraid. I'm pretty sure this is it. Let's see. See what TypeScript says. Get movie by. Yeah, you see this is get movie by ID. It has a request here. My bad. So here, let's try it again. Let's put 1. Let's do send. And now you see it's thinking. And oh, you didn't get an answer. Yeah, it is. Okay. Here we go. I'm here to help your answer, but I see you're asking for the beginning of Harry Potter and Philosopher's Stone to be written out. Ha. Okay. Here you go. So we have it completely integrated at the done endpoint and picking up the titles. Let's try it out with another one. So let's create another movie. Let's do test request. Put in the title is Star Wars Episode 4. Okay, and now we can go to the beginning and try it out for 2. Let's see. When we get a response, and it's, the Oracle is low, unfortunately, okay, because we're not using the Stream API, we are using the full complete API. I am an assistant that complains. Yeah, okay. Here we go. Look at how it starts. A period of civil war, rebel spaceships tracking from Aided Bay. Look at it. It's whatever. Okay. So we can get an endpoint, our endpoint code, and so on and so forth. We can our database to store stuff. This is actually a real DB. We can actually get all our movies here if you want. And here we have all our endpoints. We can specify some more query parameters here. Like there's a lot that you can put in here. Like you can order them by whatever you want, and so on and so forth. So, and you can update a movie, delete a movie. You can call OpenAI. You can do all sorts of things from these kind of systems. Okay. So, and we can still see, okay, here on the metrics that we got quite a little bit of spikes on the memory consumption on for the model, because this is big, and also there is a big entry point latency, a big latency spike when generating stuff, because that is essentially the event loop blocking because of or the OpenAI GPU thingy that we are doing. So yeah, so let's go back to the presentation. And so the demo gods were with me. I think this mostly worked. So, and I'm mostly out of at that time. So it's pretty good. So I just want to talk a little bit about what we launched last week or this week, I think. Yeah, well, this week we have announced our commercial product, which is the Intelligence Command Center. You can find it at platformatichq.com. What it is? Well, it's a full management system for your Node applications and microservice that you can use to coordinate all the things. It's this is what we call the taxonomy. It shows all your application with all the services running inside using Platformatic and how they interact between each other. And also, as part of all of this, it also allows you to do peer previews and all sorts of things and compute the risk of those peer previews. This is a long concept. We wrote a paper on it a few months back. Anyway, the gist is this is available. If you have any questions about how to improve your production system with this thing, we could happy to chat. It's all available on the website. And yeah, any questions?
Great. Well, thanks a lot, Matteo.
Thank you. This was a long talk.
Of course. Well, we're very thankful you gave your time to us today. I really appreciate it. While anyone's typing any questions in the chat or anything like that, looks like there's some popping in now. Just a quick housekeeping is that I'll be posting this recording to YouTube, and any resources that Matteo wants to pass along to me, I can include those in the same message. I'll send that out to everyone in the meetup group so that everyone's up to date there. And yeah, thanks everyone for joining. We can dive into the questions here. I see one in the chat. Yeah, Carbine uses Node.js and jQuery for its NoSQL or VectorDB Savvy analysis and reporting suite for data exploration and publication quality insights. Apostrophe CMS uses MongoDB, NoSQL. Carbine uses many Node modules, even has Gen AI integrations. Any thought on the multi-language, JS, JavaScript? A couple others there from Oracle Labs, Deno, or other JS runtimes. Matteo, what do you think there?
Okay, so for various reasons, okay, like Node.js right now is taken as mostly as a commodity. In fact, it's being used by literally everybody. Okay, State of JS came out today or the last few days, and the numbers are incredible for the Node.js penetration in the ecosystem. Essentially, all JavaScript developers use Node.js, very close to. So the net result is it's everywhere. So there's not much to do. And Dino is growing, Ban is growing. They have people are using, trying them out. They work very well, to be honest. But the market currently, like the standard of the market is Node for whatever reason it is, and everybody's struggling to be compatible with Node. So yeah, I would say use Node.
Great. Yeah, another question in the chat. Curious from Tom. Curious why Fastify is 5 times faster than Express. Is Express doing something silly? Is Fastify doing something brilliant? Both.
So yes, Express is doing something silly, and Fastify is not. Multiple things actually silly. The first one is it completely destroy all the V8 optimization by doing prototype replacements on objects. The second one is using a router that is impossible to optimize, okay? Which essentially converts all your routes in regular expression and call them one after the other. Not cool, okay? And yeah, and a bunch of other things like that, okay? On top of that, the middleware system is incredibly costly because you cannot limit certain middlewares in a lot of ways. You just run them all and run them with ifs. So pretty bad. So yeah, essentially that.
Great, thank you. I appreciate that. So move down to the next one. Haruna says, thanks. Saw a rate limiter. Does Composer include a health checker and or a circuit breaker?
The Composer as a health checker, and you can easily add, as if you want, a circuit breaker. There is a nice few modules for doing this in Fastify. there is one built in with a status endpoint in case your system become in case the event loop utilization grows too much, it will actually open the circuit and let your system cool down before accepting your requests.
Very cool. So yeah, one more in the chat here. Looks like Bill Reynolds was following up on Tom's question. It says, what effort would it take to migrate?
To what?
Let's see. I'll need to. I think. Oh, to Composer.
Sorry, I'm lost on the question. Can you reformulate?
Let's see. I think Bill is. Let's see. Migrate from Express to the 5x world. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay. So, migrating from Express, it mostly depends on how much you are depending. Like migrating from Express is actually relatively an easy path because of the pluggable nature of Fastify, you can actually mount an Express application inside Fastify because it has so very little overhead that you can actually mount the full Express app. So you could literally start mounting your Express app inside Fastify and start adding or migrating routes one by one. You can avoid doing the big bang of the things. Okay. Generically, unless you're using some obscure middleware that it's actually not very maintained anymore, it's actually way you can essentially just migrate. Okay, it's very much it's very straightforward. Okay, a lot of the things are the same, and in fact, a lot of things are way better. Specifically, we have embedded data validation, so you can add the validation to your routes. We have embedded. We have a way better error handling model than Express, so you can actually avoid to wrap all your business logic in try catches because we do this for you, and a bunch of other things like that. Okay, adding the this was migrate to the Composer tool. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was in the question as well, to migrate to Composer.
Oh, the Composer, you can just run it. Like if you have a bunch of systems that you want to compose, you can just run that. It's just a standalone component. So if you don't want to use any other Platformatic or Express, you can just use that and point it to your existing services and it will just work.
Very cool. Excellent. Yeah, Bill says, thanks, appreciate that. And then another one in the chat just snuck in from John says, thanks, Matteo, for all your contributions. What OSS projects would you advocate are most deserving on people's spare time to contribute to those OSS efforts, such as Node.js, other NPM packages? What do you think there?
So, okay, this is an interesting question. Depending how much spare time you have to dedicate, I recommend doing something that you can be effective at. Okay, so and contributing to a project like Node.js, it can be daunting. Okay, so maybe try something like Fastify, which is a very much friendly community, and it has lower effort tasks. Okay. Why I'm saying that? Because Node.js, just to set up your development environment for doing Node, it takes maybe between half an hour to an hour just to have a development environment set up. So you need to, be willing to put in the effort to just be able to make the change. Okay. I think we also have some setup for the GitHub live editor if you want to do that too. So once you have the setup, though, then it's actually quite easy. The important part when you want to contribute to Node or any other project is you open the PR, and then you need to follow up every day, okay? Because there will be questions from maintainers and so on and so forth. So, and you need to it will take some, like for the most complex project, it will actually take some time to get through it.
Great, excellent. Cool. Looks like we have a couple of minutes maybe for one more question. If there's any more in the room here or in the chat, go ahead, Alex. So this is Alex from our team here in Apostrophe.
Hey, Matteo.
Hey.
Thanks for your time today. I really appreciated your comments at the beginning about the value of community and how that's been a successful kind of strategy from your perspective. I was just wondering if there are like specific rituals or activities that you find to like help connect people together and really, you know, make that a strong part of the project.
Like for Fastify, because it's by default, it did not have a company behind. It does not have a company behind from the beginning. That was the idea of the project. Okay, this is going to be a pure community play. It's empower them. So you want to identify which are the key people in your community and convert them in contributors. If you want to talk into marketing lingo, okay, we have a funnel of people, and we have essentially lurkers, which use the code without contributing anything. Okay, then we have people that open issues. Okay, report bugs. Okay, and from there, it's people that send pull requests to fix those bugs, and from there, you have people that have done multiple pull requests and fix multiple bugs, implemented new features, implemented new plugins. Typically, when we identify those people are invited to be maintainers of Fastify, and those are listed in the README and so on and so forth. And after some time doing that, somebody can join the leadership of the project too. Okay, right now we have 4 people in the leadership of Fastify, and it's going great. So the point, what I'm saying here is we have done is the goal of the project was to empower people, okay, and make sure that they shine and they do their best. Okay, it's at the same time we cannot do this in Platformatic because Platformatic is a product, okay, and because it's a product, it's harder to attract contributors. We still have some that have fixed things, and mostly are partner companies or other people adopting it, and so on and so forth, that we have some relationship with.
Cool. Thank you.
Great. So that's perfect. That uses up the last minute in the hour here. Thanks again. Big thank you to Matteo for presenting to us today, talking a bit more about Fastify and Platformatic. And thanks a lot to everyone who joined and participated and asked questions. That was great to see everyone.
Thank you, folks. Thank you very much.
Great. Thanks a lot. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.